Thanks for checking out this episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis, your movie trivia and discussion podcast. Please like us at facebook.com/screenfacts. On Twitter, it's @JasonDavisVoice. This podcast is a production of Jason Davis Voiceover. Please visit jasondavisvoice.com for information about voiceover services for commercials, internet and corporate videos, e-learning, phone messages, and more. Well, joining me today, socially distanced.
Properly, yes.
Yeah, this is the first time we're recording an episode of Screen Facts in person in a while.
It's been way too long, and I have to say, I'm nervous being in your new digs here.
It's
in
very
your
cool.
Brand new studio.
I'm psyched. Well, joining me is Erik Reitz.
Oh yeah, hi. Hi, Jason. How you doing?
It's great to have you here. It's great to do an episode with you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a very funny movie from the 90s, a movie that I hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And I forgot how funny it is, and I forgot how much airplane-style humor was in it, like sight gags and stuff.
Right, yeah, definitely. I hadn't seen it in a very, very long time either. And it's just basically there's a guy at work who Austin Powers is like one of his like alter egos at work.
Oh, that's funny.
And yeah, so just like during the day at work, we'll be like, "Do I make you horny, baby?" And just
yeah, baby.
Stuff. We'll just be doing that. And I was like, and he said, "Why don't you do an Austin Powers podcast?" So then I asked you, and you were totally into it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, so Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. So we're going to mainly talk about the first movie.
Yes.
I've seen all three. I'm assuming you have as well.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
I don't remember the third one that much because I've seen that one the least, Goldmember. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me was the sequel to this.
Right.
That, of course, introduced Fat Bastard and Mini Me.
Yes.
Released May 2nd, 1997.
23 years ago, dude.
That's crazy.
23 friggin' years ago.
It holds up, too.
Well, and it holds up for a lot of things. First of all, you know, he's a 60s throwback.
Right.
And, you know, the late 60s is just something that I think people are always going to look back on as a time that, of course, there was political upheaval, there was the Vietnam War and all this,
right.
But it was also an experimental time, people breaking away from the 50s kind of bondage.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has a lot of that kind of innocence in a way. Although I don't know if you can say late 60s were innocent, but he brings that.
It depends, what your perspective is. For some people, it was all about free love, man, and peace and drugs and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and for him, it definitely was.
Right. But of course, the character of Austin Powers is a huge caricature too. It's, it goes kind of overboard with some of the stuff. But
it is. But you could definitely see where he's pulled some of the physical looks.
Oh yeah, like that whole mod look. Yeah, that was one of the things.
Look, even his glasses.
Yeah, that was one of the things that when we were watching the movie, they really did a great job of capturing the style of late 60s, in London and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very cool.
How much did it cost to make this movie?
So the budget for the movie was estimated at $16.5 million.
Wow, that's it.
It grossed $53.9 million in the U.S. and $67.7 million worldwide. So it wasn't a giant hit. The second movie, I think, actually did better business because I think people weren't sure what to make of this at first.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Myers, he had already left Saturday Night Live.
Right. And he had already done 2 Wayne's World movies, too, at this point.
Yeah. So, I was looking forward to more stuff from him.
Right.
He created this whole Austin Powers character basically for this band, Ming T.
Who performed during the credits.
Right. But apparently they actually did some dates.
Oh, did they really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and played as an actual band because like the lead singer from the Bangles.
Right.
She's in it. And she's adorable.
Susanna Hoffson. She's married to the director, Jay Roach.
Which is crazy. He did all 3, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
How he got the character, I read a bunch of different things, and different people will say different stuff. Mm-hmm. He was in the car with his wife, and Burt Bacharach was on.
Okay.
Actually, he's in the movie.
Right. He has a cameo.
You're right, which was very cool.
And he was synonymous with the 60s.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s. He wrote for so many big artists back then. Dionne Warwick. And
it was all like love songs type stuff. So he's listening to that, and he starts talking to his wife about, I wonder, what he was like back in the late 60s. I wonder if he was a swinger. Then apparently he turns to his wife, and he's like, "Do I make you horny, baby?"
Yeah.
And he starts going.
Yeah.
And she said, "Pull the car over, start writing this down."
Yeah, so you can recreate it.
3 weeks later, he had the script.
That's awesome.
For the movie.
And that's how creativity works sometimes. You hear all kinds of stories like that with songwriters too, where they're driving along and something just pops in their head, or they're in the shower and something, and they have to like immediately write stuff down so they don't forget. The great thing about Mike Myers is that he's a chameleon. I mean, Wayne Campbell, all the different characters that he played on Saturday Night Live.
Sure. Middle-aged man.
Sprockets.
Oh my God, that's right. Dieter and Sprockets.
Yeah.
Lieber's mein Ausminky. Or whatever the hell he
Simon was another one.
Simon.
And they say
right.
like,
with the twigs and berries.
I don't know if you saw when Mike Myers was hosting the revamped Gong Show not too long ago.
Yes.
As a character. Like he wasn't himself, he was playing a character.
He was brilliant. Kathy was like, that's not him. I said, of course it's him.
Yeah.
Listen to him.
Yeah,
Look at the way he moves. It's totally him.
Yeah, so that was cool. So he creates these characters and he fully commits. Even the way Austin Powers looks is great.
Right.
The glasses, the hair, the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth. Well, that's it. I guess that's England. English
back then,
But and all those different influences. He was saying that after his dad died in 1991, he was like taking stock of all the influences that have been on him, and he said it was basically his dad. They would watch James Bond and Peter Sellers, listen to the Beatles and the Goodies, which I don't know if people have even heard, but the Goodies was another like Monty Python-ish type group, Peter Cook and Dudley Moore. So obviously you see those influences. He also brought up Harry Palmer in the Imcrist File, was a movie played by Michael Caine back in 1965.
Okay.
And I looked it up.
And he had the glasses.
It was the exact same glasses, and he kind of had that nerdy look.
Yeah.
But he kicked ass.
Right.
Plus, the clothes, it was that time.
Yeah.
So, he just grabbed onto all that.
I just love how he's like this sex symbol. And he looks like such a dork.
Oh, right. I think it's his attitude. And actually later on in other movies, we find out it's his mojo.
His mojo.
It's really his mojo. And but Michael Caine said at first he did not like the whole Austin Powers thing, mainly because of the teeth. He's like, here, he's mimicking me, but then he goes with these gross teeth.
I don't know that he was trying to recreate Michael Caine
or
that character.
Yeah.
And maybe he did the teeth so there wouldn't be confusion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. But it's just funny that because then Michael Caine came around later in the series and became his dad.
That's right.
Played his dad, which is friggin' funny.
Yeah. The cast is great. Mike Myers, Elizabeth Hurley, Michael York.
Oh, Elizabeth Hurley. Oh my God.
Mimi Rogers. Robert Wagner and Seth Green, all great. We're going to sort of talk a little bit about the sequels, even though we didn't watch them to prepare for the podcast. In the sequel, Rob Lowe plays a younger version of the Robert Wagner character.
Right.
He does a spot-on impression. It's amazing.
Yeah, I read that.
So good that you think that his voice is dubbed.
Right.
That's how good it is.
And it's not.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about, the casting. Dr. Evil actually was going to go to Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he wanted Jim Carrey to be Dr. Evil.
But he was in the middle of Liar Liar.
Right.
So he didn't have a chance to do it.
I think it's kind of interesting. I feel like him playing both of the roles is actually kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course in the sequels he plays Fat Bastard, he plays Gold Member. So I actually think it's kind of cool that, again, celebrating his chameleon ways.
Yeah.
How he can, with some makeup, creates all these other characters and stuff.
I mean, I'm sure if Jim Carrey had played the character,
it would have been great.
It would have been awesome, and we'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
But you know
because
what?
I love Jim Carrey too.
Yeah, but nothing is lost by Mike playing both characters.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
The other cool thing about these movies, improvisation. Mike Myers said that he estimated about 30 to 40% of the movie was improvised. One of the big things was the shushing scene.
Shush.
Yeah. It's no hat because he's like Scott Evil's like, I'll just get a gun, bam, and we'll kill him.
Well, because it's like,
but all I'm saying, there's gonna.
Because that's one of the beautiful parts about the whole Austin Powers movies is that they just totally spoof on every genre of spy movies out there.
Just definitely, there's a lot of James Bond stuff for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because Daniel Craig gave some shit because he's like the earlier James Bonds had some of that
campiness.
Yeah, a little campiness.
Yeah.
But once Austin Powers came and kind of just blew all that,
yeah,
and
it was so over the top. He said that that's why his version of James Bond is so dark.
Right.
Because, you're not going to compete with Austin Powers in terms of campiness.
Yeah. He's quoted as saying, this is Daniel Craig, we had to destroy the myth because Mike Myers fucked us.
That's awesome.
Dr. Evil's son.
Scott Evil, yeah.
Scott Evil, Colin Quinn.
Yeah.
Maybe was going to play
Which
that.
is very interesting. I'm having a hard time seeing that because Seth Green is so fucking good.
Right.
And, as that sort of angsty, younger version.
Right, because Colin is several years older.
Oh, quite a few, yeah.
So he would have
Colin Quinn might be older than Mike Myers in real life, actually. Maybe in the original script, the Scott Evil character was going to be older.
Right.
Because assuming...
Which he could be.
It could be, because the story behind Scott Evil in the movie is that they used Dr. Evil's frozen sperm to create him.
Right.
And,
I forget that chick's name, that character's name.
Frau Corvissina. She's great, too. Scott! Yeah, so in the movie, obviously, they created him a little bit after Dr. Evil was frozen.
Right.
Where if Colin Quinn was playing the role, it could have been right after he was frozen.
Yeah, because it was roughly 30 years.
Right.
So, I'm glad they went with Seth because,
he's great.
It made sense for it to be a teenager because that's a perfect age for
or 20-something or whatever.
Yeah, for the father to come back and he's like, you expect a hug? You leave me? And it's like, well, he never even knew he existed,
Come give your dad a hug. Don't look at me like I'm frickin' Frankenstein. Get away from me, you lazy-eyed freak.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Was she a model before acting? She must have been, right?
Yeah, she was a model. This was actually like her first leading role.
Okay.
If you really watch, you'll see that Vanessa doesn't really make eye contact with Austin very much.
Because she probably would break.
Right, she'd break down. And one of the things she talks about is that she's also like a very tactile person. She's a very touchy-feely person.
Okay.
And Mike's not.
Oh, that's interesting.
So while they were filming, she was always, touching and all that.
Right.
And even now, when they get together, she'll like just overly, stroke his hair and all that stuff just to get him uncomfortable. And I'm thinking, Mike, what the hell's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, everybody's different,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You would think it'd be real easy to receive any kind of physical contact or affection from somebody like Elizabeth Hurley. But if Mike Myers is sort of reserved and maybe a little shy, maybe he's intimidated.
Yeah.
She's obviously a beautiful woman.
Right.
I mean, that's not a matter of opinion. I think you could survey 100 people and, 99 of them would say Elizabeth Hurley.
So, yeah, she's no dog anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So,
also, casting Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yes.
His real name was Ted Nugent. Apparently, the popularity of the Sphinx cat skyrocketed after the movie came out.
Yeah, it's kind of like in Men in Black 2, I think it was, when they introduced the talking pug.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So everybody wanted a pug after that, so I can't imagine wanting a hairless cat.
They're ugly.
It's so odd looking.
Yeah.
But whatever. I guess they're so ugly they're cute, maybe.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
But Dr. Evil's look is based on a Bond villain.
Yes.
Blofeld from You Only Live Twice. And it's funny because Donald Pleasance played the character in the James Bond movie. Okay. And then he ended up being in the Halloween movies as the guy who's going after the lead character of Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. Oh my gosh, look how that came around. That's nuts.
So that's kind of a weird coincidence.
But it's funny because the cat he had was also a white furry cat, which is, Dr. Evil's cat was originally white and furry.
Right, but then of course with the freezing process.
The freezing, they didn't know how it was.
But that's a great joke though. And then Will Ferrell as Mustafa.
His first movie.
Was it really?
That's what I read.
Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense.
If it's wrong, it's wrong.
It's funny because he's been around for so long, between SNL and then all the movies that he's made since, that you forget that this is 97.
Right.
Yeah, he might have still been on SNL at that point.
Maybe. I think he was.
So yeah, that makes sense that it was his first movie. But he's gone on to so many funny things.
Right.
But that scene when he he dumps him out of the chair into the fire pit, and he's like, I'm burned really badly. I'm in an awful lot of pain. Could somebody please help me?
And like some of that, that scene then, Dr. Evil gets on the phone, and he's making a call, whatever. I like how there's those slow things that happen.
Right.
Like when they're
jokes that are played out for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, is this still funny? If silence is done right. Like there's just one dopey little scene where he's in his evil chair, and it starts like drifting away, and then someone needs to help him just put his chair back to the table. I mean, that was like a 30 seconds of just a rogue chair, but it's hilarious.
Sometimes that happens where something maybe isn't that funny, but then if you do it long enough, it becomes funny.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That happens sometimes in movies and TV shows and stuff.
And a similar thing like when they're doing the evil laugh.
Right.
There's like all 5 of them, and they just keep laughing.
And then finally, yeah. So let's talk about like one of the other henchmen. Okay. Random Task. The Asian guy with the hat.
Can we say that's a callback to Kato at all? And Peter Sellers and the Pink Panther?
Wasn't there a similar character in one of the James Bond movies that threw his hat?
Right, yes.
Instead of the shoe?
Instead of the shoe, right.
Yeah, so the actor who plays Random Task, Joe Sun is his name, he's actually serving life in prison.
No.
This is really dark. And it was hard for me to watch the movie knowing this information. I didn't know this until I did the research for the podcast.
Yeah.
So apparently, he started serving life in prison for the torture of a 19-year-old woman in 1990.
Oh, no.
He wasn't captured until 2008. They caught him with a DNA match.
Oh, okay.
So, according to the victim, she unknowingly had a copy of this movie in her home.
Oh, God.
Until he was captured. In 2017, he was sentenced to an additional 27 years for murdering his cellmate.
No way.
So this guy was
He is a badass.
Yeah, he was a bad dude.
Oh, my God.
So you're watching the movie, and it's kind of, it's done for laughs. He cracks his neck, he throws the shoe, and it's all over the top silliness. And thank God he's in jail now. He's no longer a threat to society, but holy shit. When I read that, I was like, good God.
Oh, wow, good casting on that one.
Who knew, right? I love that the AOL product placement in the movie, which is so dated now.
Right.
AOL was huge at this time.
Yeah.
So huge that Jay Roach put them in the movie, the product placement, so he would get a year of service for free.
He was just hoping, or did he actually get it?
Apparently that was the deal he worked out.
Good for him. When the movie first came out, how it was received, because a lot of times we talk about, like a movie was not well received, but then it kind of found a following later on.
You and I and other people and I who have done the podcast have talked about so many movies that have gone on to become sort of cult classics or had a huge run after the theatrical release. A lot of times movies, for whatever reason, just don't land when they're in the theaters.
Right, right.
And then people find them on video or on cable, and they become these huge successes. And this is another one of those movies.
Yeah. Well, this one actually, promotionally, it did fairly well as far as.
It made money, as we talked about before.
Yeah, it made some money. And it's funny, when Mike Myers was promoting it, he had the band, Ming T, and they actually did. I never saw this. I got to find this. They did like an hour special, television special.
Oh, wow.
And it was called...
In the U.S. or?
It was definitely in Britain. I don't know if it was in the U.S. I got to find it. I'm sure you can Google it and find it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a joke in the movie about, where Dr. Evil's talking about a plan to, make it look like Prince Charles cheated on Princess Diana.
They put the movie out.
The movie comes out right after she's murdered.
Like
or
5
right
days.
After she dies.
Yeah, 5 days.
I'm assuming she was murdered. There's a lot of theories that that wasn't an accident, that they were going after her for some reason.
So they were going to have that movie out 5 days after her death.
Yeah, they actually cut that scene when it was released in the England.
UK. Yeah. And it's, seeing that, because in that scene there's a few things that Dr. Evil brings up.
Right.
And each one has already happened.
Right.
And,
he's like, I've been frozen for 30 freaking years.
It'd be nice if somebody would bring me up to speed.
Yeah. I'm the boss. I need the info. Like, throw me a freaking bone. I love that his voice, by the way, is based on Lorne Michaels from Saturday Night Live.
That's what Dana Carvey said.
Oh, it totally is. Have you ever heard? Yeah. If you've ever seen Lorne Michaels,
a little.
bit. It's an exaggerated version of him.
Of course, yeah.
Supposedly, Dana Carvey was pissed at Mike Myers for years.
Oh, really?
For stealing the impression.
No kidding.
That's what I read, yeah.
Wow.
But, I mean, everybody that's ever been on Saturday Night Live does an impression of Lorne Michaels.
Right.
Even the women, which is hilarious. But supposedly, and I've seen him in interviews and stuff. Dr. Evil is a very much exaggerated version of that.
Okay.
But yes, he definitely talks with a little bit of like that. And, when we had Mike Myers and Dana Carvey on Saturday Night Live, they were great together. It's totally,
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so it's very funny.
Okay. One of his lines where he talks about danger is his middle name.
When he's thawed out,
right.
And they're giving him all of his personal effects.
That's right.
Which, by the way, is a total nod to Blues Brothers, I think. When Jake is released from prison and Frank Oz is giving him all his stuff.
One condom used.
Yeah, soiled. One condom, new. One soiled. Yeah. But in this, with the penis pump and all that.
Right, yeah. Well, it's funny, with the whole thawing out thing, this was almost an R-rated movie. According to the director, he was saying that it was almost an R, mainly because near the end of the movie with the whole fruit thing covering their private parts,
right,
doing that a whole bit, it was that, but also
the way she eats the sausage.
That, but you notice that stayed in.
Right.
They said the bottom line was there was too much of Mike's crack when he was being thawed out.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's why he's in a total profile when he's being thawed out.
Okay. I'm so numb to all that kind of stuff. Like, none of that stuff bothers me. It's just there. I don't like it. I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by anything in a movie, really, because
it's a movie.
If it, especially if it's done for laughs.
The scene, say, where he's with a lot of vagina.
A lot of vagina, yeah.
And they go and she does the little strip thing behind with the shadow and stuff,
right?
Which is great because the silhouette, that comes later on when he's in the tent with.
That's in the second movie, right?
Yeah,
Felicity Shagwell, yeah.
And she's
Heather Graham. Yeah.
Heather Graham, oh my God.
Yeah.
So seeing that shadow with this beautiful woman.
Yeah, they don't have ugly women in these movies.
No, definitely not. And it's just
Beyonce is in
he's
the third
there
one.
Watching, and he's like getting all kind of nervous and and all excited. See, like we're watching that, and Kathy's like, "That's cute," that he's like being all kind of goofy and horned up.
Yeah.
And then when they're in the hot tub, and she's like wants to make love, and so she's on top of him. And he's got his foot out, and he's shaking his foot. Oh, that's your spot. That's your spot.
I like when he's like, I'm really relaxed, and then he farts.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, how dare you break wind before me? And he's like, oh, I didn't realize it was your turn, baby.
He is very charming.
Oh, he
really is. And I would like to be him.
That actress, by the way, that plays a lot of vagina, I have to mention this because I know anybody who's into cheesy 80s movies will remember.
Yeah.
There was a movie that Mark Harmon and Kirstie Alley did in 1987 called Summer School.
Summer School.
The actress that plays a lot of vagina was the Italian exchange student that the two horror movie buffs are trying to impress the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah, we're talking about some quotes. I like how
I shagged her rotten, baby.
Oh, that's horrible. I shagged her rotten.
When Vanessa says to him, are you into her or something like that? And he's like, oh, she's rancid, baby.
Rancid. She's rancid. Well, I like early on when he's thought out, one of the things he says, which obviously really sets the tone for who he is going to be, as long as people are having promiscuous sex with many anonymous partners without protection, while at the same time experimenting with mind-expanding drugs in a consequence-free environment, I'm sound as a pound. Different world, man.
But that's what makes the movie great. The fish out of water. The man in a different time.
And then he ends up falling for Vanessa, and he changes his ways, and he becomes a one woman man.
Yeah.
So there you go for him.
There's so many great scenes. I love when he puts the guard's head into the tank of the ill-tempered sea bass.
Right.
He doesn't have a head anymore. He's decapitated. Right. Not the time to lose one's head. And then she's like, no. That's not the way to get ahead in life.
No.
It's a shame he wasn't more headstrong.
Mm-hmm.
He'll never be the head of a major corporation. Okay,
that'll do. I can't believe Liberace was gay. Women loved him.
That's right.
I didn't see that one coming. Carnies, circus folks, nomads, small hands smelled like cabbage. I mean, you can just rattle on and on.
Oh, there's so many great things.
And the whole Dr. Evil thing. I mean, what he says about his father and his upbringing.
Oh yeah, it's too much to go into.
Yeah,
when he talks about the shaved scrotum. It's really quite breathtaking. Highly suggest you try it.
It's Dr. Evil. I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mister.
I love that.
And then the Lucky Charms guy.
Yeah. Patty O'Brien.
Patty O'Brien, yeah. I guess he's an assassin, so he's got the charms that he leaves when he kills. Which led to that goofy scene in the bathroom.
Right, with Tom Arnold.
Where Tom Arnold, just from the very beginning, like after he's thawed, they're moving him around, they place him in front of a urinal. And over the loudspeaker, the woman saying, evacuation. And he starts to pee. And then he stops, says, evacuation, and then he pees again.
Yeah.
And they do that like 5-6 times.
Right. Again, another example of a scene that goes on for a while that is in danger of being, all right, enough already.
Right, in danger, but
yeah,
because it's such a simple, it's such a simple thing that's going on. The sexual innuendo we talked about. It's basic. It's silly.
It's done with so much goofiness.
Right.
It's hard to be offended if you're somebody that doesn't like that type of humor.
Right.
We all know people like that.
No, she liked it.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm saying in this movie, it's done in a way that somebody who normally would be put off by that kind of humor is okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just silly. Like when he's trying to woo Vanessa when they're on their first night, and no, I'm thinking the first night in the hotel, and he's on the round bed.
That's on the jet. That's on his private jet.
The jet had a spinning bed?
Yeah.
That was on the jet?
Yeah, it was on his private jet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because don't you remember he falls, turbulence, and he falls down.
Oh, turbulence, right. Oh, that's right. I always love British humor because half the time I don't understand what they're saying.
Right. Okay. You're a gigantic Monty Python fan.
Right. Huge fan, and I still have to look stuff up because the things that English people say sounds funny even though you don't know what the hell it means. One of my favorites is when, he's saying to Vanessa, shall we shag now? We shag later?
Yeah.
How do you like to do it? Do you like to wash up first? Tops and tails. Whore's bath? Personally, before I'm on the job, I like to give my undercarriage a bit of a how's your father. What the hell does that mean?
That's what makes
a bit of how's your father.
But that's what makes it funny.
Yes,
it's probably completely nonsensical. It's probably not even something British people say.
Oh, I bet it is something they say. I'm going to look it up.
It's like Bob's your uncle is another thing I've heard.
But that is something they say.
I know, but I'm saying, what does it mean? How's your father is probably like a Bob's your uncle saying.
Right.
It probably doesn't mean anything, but it sounds funny.
Undercarriage.
Yeah, your undercarriage. How's your father? This movie, I'm glad we decided to do a podcast about it because it was fun watching it again. Because I hadn't seen it in a while, and I really forgot how funny it was.
Yeah.
And I forgot some of the style of humor that was in it.
Yeah, the humor stayed good for me. It wasn't like Porky's where, that was very dated humor, and it was definitely geared to like maybe only teenage boys or only boys of a certain IQ level, whereas...
Yeah, and the great thing about this movie too is that even if you're not a big fan of James Bond, I'm not. Like I've seen, a bunch of the James Bond movies back in the day, but I haven't seen any of the more recent ones. And I would not classify myself as a huge James Bond fan.
Yeah, me neither.
But you don't have to be to enjoy this movie.
No, because the things that they're spoofing.
Right.
The whole thing about going into the tank.
The elaborate,
the overly elaborate thing, so that it's like just kill them. Like,
but there's even like lines in this movie that are direct lifts from James Bond. When Austin Powers says to him, "Do you expect them to pay?" "No, Mr. Powers, I expect them to die." That's like total homage to a James Bond movie.
It's great. I'd say see it again.
If you haven't seen it in a while, definitely revisit it because it stands up. It holds up well after all these years, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun.
This was good. I mean,
great having you here for this.
Oh, this was fantastic.
All right. Well, thanks for another episode.
My pleasure. I'm so glad we did it.
Excellent. The Screen Facts with Jason Davis podcast is a production of Jason Davis Voiceover. Please visit jasondavisvoice.com if you need a voice for a commercial, internet and corporate video, e-learning, phone message, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, please email screenfacts@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening.
You're totally shagadelic.